Hi, my name is Gord Miller. I'm the Environmental Commissioner of Ontario, and this video is to introduce my third annual greenhouse gas report to the Ontario Legislature. It's entitled Meeting Responsibilities, Creating Opportunities. I guess the most important thing in this report is the evaluation of how we're doing. Ontario has targets for greenhouse gas reductions set for the years 2014, 2020, and later to 2050. So I guess what is the story? How are we doing? The regrettable part of this report is that the government of Ontario, in their report to the legislature earlier, admits, and our review has subsequently confirmed, that we are not going to meet our greenhouse gas targets in 2014 or 2020. And that's regrettable. It gets a little bit confusing, perhaps, though, when you look at the actual data as reported by the federal government to the United Nations of just exactly what our greenhouse gas emissions for Ontario have been lately. The last reporting year is 2009. And in fact, just recently, the federal government reported that in 2009, the emissions of greenhouse gases from Ontario are about 165 megatons. Well, as it turns out, 165 megatons is the target, the level of emissions that we're targeting to achieve in 2014, which perhaps sounds very encouraging on the first instance. But the reality is, of course, we're in an economy that is now growing and producing greenhouse gases with our economic activity, and the economy is expected to grow over the years. And that means it'll be a challenge to meet those targets. In fact, let's look at this. The top line is the GDP for Ontario. The solid line is measured, and we can see the big dip that occurred in 2009 as our economy shrunk, and is subsequently in 2010 increased back up to more or less level, and projected to go forwards in the Ontario budgets. This has resulted in a decline in greenhouse gases, but we expect a corresponding recovery and an increase going through. Now, the government of Ontario, in their report, they suggest that the increase will be much subtler, and that in 2014 there will be a 4 megaton gap between what we're emitting and what our target is. 4 megatons too high. Our assessment of the expected growth in the economy is such that we see the gap's going to be much greater. We're estimating somewhere around 13 megatons. The point is, we're both showing that we're falling short of meeting the target, and we recognize that there needs to be more tools put in the toolkit to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, more programs initiated to address this problem, and we don't see them yet in the government initiatives. And that, of course, is a task for all of us going forward. Thank you.